Blackstone Audio presents The Training Ground, Grant, Lee, Sherman, and Davis in the Mexican War, 1846 to 1848, by Martin Dugard. For Colonel George Allen Dugard. Author's Note: This is not a history of the Mexican War. Rather, it is the very personal story of the young men of West Point, marching into battle for the first time, learning well the rules and tactics of engagement. I have always been fascinated by the theme of potential, and that thematic thread weaves through my body of work. How and why individuals blossom from rather ordinary citizens into world-changing historical figures, fulfilling their innate potential even as others around them wither or let their talents lie fallow, makes for powerful narrative. The story you are about to read is the most poignant example of potential I have yet encountered. While researching, I was struck time and again by the way a group of regular young men were transformed by their experiences under fire, and how those experiences molded them into the great generals and statesmen they would one day become. Through their letters, memoirs, and personal histories, these figures became very much alive to me. I came to understand how intimately they knew one another from their years at West Point and then on the battlefields of Mexico. It was only when I finished writing about their Mexican War experiences that I allowed myself to read the rest of the story and look a dozen or so years down the road to the Civil War. It was thrilling to see how this brotherhood had shown the extent of their potential during the great campaigns of the Mexican War, but it was also heartbreaking to realize that these characters, whom I had come to know so well, would later become so devoted to killing one another. They were not dispassionate men. One can only imagine how gut-wrenching it must have been to peer across a Civil War battlefield and remember the brotherhood once shared with the opposing general. The fact that many of these men resumed their friendships once that war ended is testimony to the enduring bonds forged at West Point and in Mexico. Martin Dugard, Rancho Santa Margarita, California, January 2008. Appomattox. It was Palm Sunday, 1865, when General Robert E. Lee rode forth to surrender. The brilliant Confederate tactician had struggled with the decision for 2 days, but now the time had come. His vaunted Army of Northern Virginia.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?